What, I'm on here by myself again. This is like Will Smith in the episode of The Fresh Prince when he just sit in the room. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Gauntlet, where we talk about everything NFL. Keep it low key, keep it relaxed, do it how we do it. Show you guys how to talk about sports without having to have the suit and tie and all the other nonsense. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Jason Kelce, Eagles legend. The center is calling it a career. We're going to talk about him. We're talking about all the other trending topics in the NFL. And we're going to have fun tonight, man. That's the most important thing about this show. That's what this show is built on, having fun. So without further ado, let's get the crew in the house. We got Jay in the house producing tonight. Detroit Dom. We're actually going to talk about the Detroit Lions. We visited all the other three teams in the NFC North already. So we're going to see what Dom is going to say about his team. How are they going to follow up the last season? And JJ is taking the night off again because he's going to happy hour. So what else is new? And Jacob is always here, and we're always happy to have Jacob with us. So
appreciate it. And JJ's not happy hour; he's happy month.
Yeah, he can drink enough in one night for a month. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
He'll probably pop in. He'll probably pop in here in a minute and tell everyone how much he loves us and say something about dragons or Komodos or Pokemon or something.
Or the Ravens.
Yeah, what did he say last week? He thinks he's a human being that got reincarnated, was a dog or something that got reincarnated as a human being.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's why I love animals. So JJ's crazy, but we love him, obviously. So without further ado, let's get into things tonight. The Gauntlet rapid fire topics. I'm going to try to be quicker with this, but the first thing I want to get your guys' thoughts about was I read a story today about how there was some fans at the playoff game between the Chiefs and the Dolphins. And there was a story that said a bunch of fans got frostbite and some of the people are getting like body parts amputated. So what is your guys' whole thoughts on that situation? Could the NFL have a lawsuit on their hands, yes or no?
Hell no.
No. Dress for the goddamn weather.
Like
some people did though.
Was it Kansas City or Miami fans?
This has to be the first time that it was Kansas City. This has to be the first time we've ever mixed Gauntlet Rapid Fire and Sports Moron at the same time.
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna start this time. Go ahead, James.
But, I don't think there's enough evidence to put a lawsuit because the NFL is going to look at people that were going to the game shirtless and being stupid, and that's going to be their argument. So
the NFL is not responsible for the ambient air temperature.
That's pretty much what's going to protect the NFL. But I can kind of see the argument for it.
You want to sue someone, sue Mother Nature.
But what saves them, here's the thing, what saves them is the fact, hey, Bacon, what's going on? No, what saves them is also the fact that you got some morons out there that's shirtless.
Exactly what I just said.
They'll go out there like they're going to drink all the alcohol all day and be shirtless in that weather because they're stupid.
Now they got the frostbitten. Hey, what was that, Adam Sandler? Was that Mr. Deeds when he got that frostbitten black ass toe? And
it was his whole foot.
Into the film. Yeah, it was his whole foot. Yeah, that's them right now. I don't feel sorry for them.
No.
Fair enough, man.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It is what it is.
Just want to get your guys' thoughts, but I think the time is up for us.
Yeah, time is up, man.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It is time for the Sports Moron of the Week. The part of the show where we discuss the dumbest things in Oh man, the NFL draft is coming up, so it's almost 1 year anniversary from when me and John were out there in that great episode. By the way, if you guys want to watch it, just type in your YouTube search bar, the Gauntlet NFL Draft Kansas City, and you will see the story behind that clip. but I'm going to go ahead and tee us off. Guys, I really don't know what's going on. I really don't. But it seems like every single week that we get on here, we end up discussing something about Caleb Williams. So
this freaking guy.
Caleb Williams, early runaway favorite for Sports Moron of the Year, and Flash his family. This is what I'm gonna get to with this story that I read this week, which was reportedly when Caleb Williams' father was talking to a bunch of NFL agents. Two things. Not only was he trying to get ownership stakes involved with the team, which is also against the CBA in the NFL. No player can have ownership of the team right now, unless you want to talk about Aaron Rodgers owning the Chicago Bears, but it's different.
That goes without saying.
That goes without saying. But you know what? Another part of this story was his father was actually trying to convince agents to bypass the CBA as well, so that he didn't have to play on like a regular rookie contract. Like he could play on his own contract and, not have as many years or whatever the case may be able to make, a certain amount of money more than, what we've ever seen before in the history. Like whatever the contract for the number one pick, no, that's not good enough. It's crazy to me that his father is so entitled to think that he can tell NFL agents to try to do this, and it just kind of shows you where Caleb got it. Like, as much
is his dad his agent too?
As much as people come to Caleb, this last thing I'm going to say before I turn it over to anyone else, it just kind of shows you Caleb comes from a family that's full of entitlement. So he is also entitled, and he's been that way his whole life, and that's why, a lot of the stories we've heard about Caleb and things that we've seen him do shouldn't be too surprising. So he hasn't proven anything. You're trying to get him to bypass the CBA so you can get ownership and bypass her contract. Sports Moron of the Week, Sports Moron of the Year, that's just one of the stupidest, most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Let me put it to you this way. Considering what he's going right now, he better have been titled, because that's the only title he's going to have in the NFL. But I mean, but the biggest thing about it is I'll give you two sides to this.
Okay.
First off, yes, I think he's ridiculous. I'm in agreement with you on it. But as much as I have said, and everybody's been hearing it on Twitter, on Facebook, and everything, I do not want the guy near the Bears. I do not want his strapless dress ass at the Super Bowl representing the Bears. I do not want any of that, and I don't want him playing that or trying to be Dennis Rodman in this era. That said, I appreciate the idea of what they're saying about ownership. Not going to happen, but I appreciate it because we were talking about Jaylen Brown last night on our show. Remember Denzel?
Yep.
And it's the idea that he wants to have entrepreneurship and generational wealth. I appreciate the idea he's going at because he wants to be an entrepreneur, obviously.
Sure.
With that thought process. That said, though, it is more than the NFLPA you're dealing with. It's more than everything else. You're dealing with the owners. And it's like, I mean, if you would want to play a game, that could have something like that, do it the NBA way, where there's more multiple owners in the NBA than there are in the NFL.
Yeah.
We gotta get to Dom and Jay, but the only thing I have to say to that is whatever Jalen is talking about, it doesn't come across the same way. The way that Caleb and his family are approaching the situation makes it seem more like a demand, not like an idea.
Yeah.
But go ahead, guys. Anybody else got Sports Moron other than what we just talked about?
Jay, you or me?
Either one.
I'll go real fast. It won't be too long. Mine's kind of like a sports moron / non-sports moron. Sports because it has to do with one guy, Russell Wilson, but it's a little bit off the field, and it just goes to show you the hypocrisy of some people on the internet whenever they try to defend somebody and push some type of agenda out there. So this is to you idiot Simpson 304s out here. I want you all to take a good look at this meme right here.
Yeah, remember the banner.
Yeah, I'm about to take it off right now. There we go.
Fellas, never forget that women use this picture to say different men will bring out a different version of you. So now saying you had an event. Listen, man, here's the only thing I'm going to say about that.
But you see what I see, though, right? You see.
People say all this stuff about Future and how like he's a player and all this stuff, but one thing is Future is not a deadbeat. Like he actually does provide and take care of it.
He does. He got like 18 kids, but he take care of all of them.
But here's the thing, and this is the deal about this. There's just a set of idiot fans who think that they listen to the media, the idea that Russell Wilson is some kind of dork. Okay, but he's an NFL dork. And a Super Bowl. And all this stuff. But they have him in that way because he doesn't want to act a certain way that they believe black people should act. I'm just being honest there. They're saying it based off of that. And you want to know something? What he is a human being. Which we should all be in every which way.
Yeah. I mean, I got no problem with Russell Wilson as a person. I just criticize him as a player.
Well, he was great. He was great in Seattle. He really was. Things changed in Denver.
Very good.
Yeah.
I would not.
The defense was great. His stats were great.
Yeah. But the thing is, it didn't work out in Denver or anything. But you know something? I personally want him. It's not going to happen, obviously, because the Bears are stupid. But I personally want him for the $1 million because Denver's going to get the $85 million dead cap. I personally want him for the $1 million and bridge it to the next quarterback. Right now, he's better than what we've had.
I mean, to your point, that could be another sports moron. I mean,
I hear there's not a lot of interest in Justin Fields.
You heard right.
They gave up all these picks and stuff, and they paid Russell Wilson all this money, and then a couple years later, they literally got rid of him, and now they're paying his salary, and they have a dead cap hit. The biggest dead cap hit in NFL history. So, congratulations.
And until Deshaun Watson died.
You know, I remember being highly critical of former Jets general manager Mike Tannenbaum for throwing an extension at a highly overrated Mark Sanchez back in 2012. They extended him for like $90 million or something like that. And then we see how far that backfired. And I was a huge critic of him for years for that move. But this right here, this has to take the spot. At the Broncos GM, he should be, every team should be scared away from him for this right here. There's just things in sports you can't come back from.
How the hell is Russell released, but the GM is not fired?
Exactly.
Does that make
sense? You know who's laughing at their GM? John Elway.
Yeah.
He's laughing at himself. But nobody's going to get rid of him because he's John Elway, and he's like Jesus to the Denver Broncos.
Is Elway still even there?
No.
He is, but he's not in the same role. Like,
not in the same role,
It's some sort of, we love you, John. We will never, you can always collect a paycheck from us, but you're not going to be our GM or team president anymore.
Exactly. You can't be the GM, but we're not going to fire you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, like Dwayne Casey. Like, you're a terrible coach, but go be in the front office.
Or like Bruce Arians. But anyway.
The Celtics did that with Brad Stevens.
Yep. But anyway, Dom, it's up to you. It's on you. By the way, your mic's kind of loud, dude.
Say what?
Your mic's kind of loud.
Oh. You sound like Charlie Brown's teacher on crack.
Can you please not whisper? I don't think anyone can hear you.
Okay, so some nameless honky on Bleacher Report, Andy, I think was his name. This man's hot take. I'm starting to realize there's a reason that no one that works for Bleacher Report gets paid. It's because of takes like this. So this idiot was like, I don't know, he was talking to some other volunteer idiot, because that's what Bleacher Report is. This man, you're going to love this, James. His prognostication, if you will, is that Philly is going to trade A.J. Brown to Chicago for a first-round pick.
For what, number one pick?
What?
Not the number one pick, although you'd probably take that deal if they did it.
The number 9.
Essentially, allegedly, the number 9 pick. It's like, he's like,
I've already addressed the nonsense about A.J. Brown so many times. A.J. Brown wants to be a Philadelphia Eagle. He said it himself. He said it that the media is full of stuff to try to create a story. And it's the end of that. A.J. Brown will be on the team this year and probably many years going forward.
And A.J. Brown has a quarterback. Whether it's Justin Fields or rookie Caleb, he's not got the same quarterback. No way with that.
And that was what the other guy in the segment said. He was like, I don't know how happy A.J. Brown would be about that because, you go to Chicago, the rookie quarterback, you just kind of wilt away and die. Plus, they already have DJ Moore. They have Cole Kmet.
Yes, exactly.
The other rumor I'm hearing is Josh Jacobs.
To Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds more true than A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
which would be a good one.
AJ is going to be with the Eagles, 100%.
I say this about Josh Jacobs. If it's Josh Jacobs, I absolutely see, and I'm not kidding you with this. I absolutely see J.J. McCarthy or Drake May as a Bear if it's Josh Jacobs, because there we go again with the run game, with the run game with a quarterback that can make a few plays. But you get my point. It's like the Bears, and then they did the same thing when they had Jay Cutler. You had Matt Forte, but you had him as a lot of a pass catching along with the running.
Of course,
you had that. But the thing is, when you have a quarterback that's not as talented but makes a few plays, they always have top-notch running.
Right.
But you never mix both truly with this team. So I absolutely could see J.J. McCarthy or Drake May and the Bears if it's Josh Jacobs, because then they're going to really pipe up that run game, especially with Khalil Herbert.
Well, do the Bears actually have the balls to pass on Caleb Williams?
Yes, I hope so.
I feel like the same conversation we have every week.
I hope so.
They're going to trade that pick for a king's ransom.
I hope so. Good. I know they would. I hope so.
I think they should, but they won't.
Some dumbass team's got a hard on for Caleb Williams. Hopefully for Jacob, it's not the Bears.
No. I hope it's the Commanders.
Is the best quarterback in the class. I've been saying
I hope it's the Commanders. I hope it's the Commanders. The Bears get number 2. Then they'll get the next quarterback.
I just want the Commanders to not get Jaden Daniels. And I'm good.
I like Daniels myself, but I'm saying I hope they get the number 2 and they just take the next quarterback, which I'll be any quarterback but Caleb.
I mean, you know what? I'm not mad at McCarthy to the Bears, honestly.
I would rather have you're correct, bud, but I would rather have McCarthy to the Bears. I would rather have McCarthy to the Bears if we had a Russell Wilson or a Kirk Cousins to sit behind for a couple of years, like a Green Bay thing,
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if I'm Caleb Williams, I know he doesn't want to go to the Bears, but why is going to the Commanders so much better than going to the Bears?
It's home.
It's
home.
I don't see it.
No, it's home. DC, it's home.
I would rather go to the Commanders than the Bears.
I thought he was not from there.
No, but I think
that tells you how much I know. So maybe I'm the sports moron of the week. So let's move on to the next topic that we have, which is going to be the Detroit Lions preview. Obviously, the Lions were first place in the NFC North last year.
Oh, I like that graphic.
Had a nice playoff run, made it to the NFC Championship. So close, but so far away from going to the Super Bowl. Tom, do you expect the Lions to still be as good, or do you think that they could take a step back?
As far as win-loss total, I don't see us winning 13 games again. We've got that tougher first place schedule. We've got some tough road games, and I do not see 13 wins again. I still think we win the division. I still think we win probably 11 games, but we will not repeat that win percentage. No.
And who are some of the top free agents that the Lions are looking to lose during the offseason?
To lose? I
know CJ.
GJ is gone, and I'm not that mad about it.
CJ back to the Lions?
Probably not, no. I'm sure he's looking for a multi-year deal from somewhere, which we won't give him. Personally, I don't know that he gets one because, yet again, he has struggled to stay healthy. You know, if you were an NFL GM, would you give him a multi-year contract? I wouldn't.
I mean, after what the Eagles did without him last year, I'll take him back.
You can have him. I won't say good riddance, but I will say I don't want you on my. If he wants to take another 1-year prove-it deal, I would give it to him.
But when he is on the field, what he provides is very.
Oh, he's outstanding when healthy, and that has been his big problem, his Achilles heel, if you will.
Anybody that you add during the offseason? Anything?
Well, you hear rumors about Danielle Hunter. I don't think he's necessarily in our price range. You also hear rumors about Ladarius Sneed, same thing, although I believe he got franchise tagged, did he not?
Yes, but the Chiefs are probably still going to work on it.
Yeah, tag and trade. Those are the two that I would be looking at. Oddly enough, the approximate number that's been attached to Danielle Hunter is around $23 million, which is about the same as it would cost us to retain our two starting guards, Graham Glasgow and Jonah Jackson. Graham Glasgow, I'm pretty sure, will re-sign. Jonah Jackson, when his agent stops eating mushrooms and acid and hallucinating wildly about his value, if that number comes down, I would bring him back, but he's had problems staying healthy. He's not good in the passing game. I think they will probably let him go because some dumbass team will overpay him. Hopefully not us. So there's a good chance we might draft a guard like in the first round. I think we picked 29th.
29th.
So his offensive line the biggest need for the Detroit Lions?
No, it's pass rusher. Pass rusher or corner. Either one. Obviously, everyone knows the success of our offense is predicated on that top 5 O-line. It makes the whole team go. We were top 4, top 5 in offense. Defense was around 20th. Aiden Hutchinson needs a running mate. I love James Houston, but he was the 7th round pick. He's a long-term, I wouldn't even say project because he came out like his hair was on fire his rookie year, but he's not an every down player. He's situational. He's pass rush only, and we need more help on the edge because as good as Aiden Hutchinson is, he can only be so good when he's getting double, sometimes triple teamed. We could also use
a lot of pressure. But Jay, Jacob, do you guys have any takes for the Lions? What are you expecting this team?
Okay, so you said dropping. Go ahead, bud. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say real quick. Actually, it would be a good look, Dom, if you guys had some help up front. I just looked at the SI.com. And this is Churko's Lions 7-round mock draft. Now, interestingly enough, in round 1, pick 29, he has cornerback Kamari Lassiter out of the University of Georgia going to you guys, which actually would be a really good look. After having talked to both you and shout out to Smoke and Jeremy B. And y'all was saying y'all needed just a tad bit of help in the secondary. That might be it right there for you. Then also in round 2, he's got defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat out of University of Texas.
I like that guy a lot.
And coming from a Longhorns fan, that would be a damn good look. He actually was a National Award finalist. Round 3, edge rusher Brandon Dorius out of Oregon. So there's your front line right there. There's your front 4 or 5, however much y'all rush. He's got offensive lineman Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State going in round 3. Interestingly enough, round 5, pick 162, he has got Luke McCaffrey, wide receiver out of Rice. Damn, that last name sounds familiar. Oh, yeah, he's the brother of that guy and the son of that other guy. And then also, in a few months ago, projected to go to, and actually this was in the first round, and I know these are all, mock projections. It's anyone's guess, where they're going to go. But wide receiver Xavier Worthy out of University of Texas was projected to go to the Lions. That may be a bit different now in some people's eyes, but I know that would be a damn good look. I would like the two-man tandem of Sun God and Xavier Worthy, because I don't know if you've seen him at the University of Texas, but dude's a playmaker. It is more than just he's got the fastest 40 time now. The guy can return. The guy put up a grand on the ground, a grand receiving and 12 touchdowns last season. So Worthy would be a damn good pick for you guys too. As far as the win-loss prediction, I think the Lions win-loss record takes one step back. I think they finished with 11 wins, but they still win the division, and they still have the potential to make it back to the NFC Championship game. But Dan Campbell has got to stop rolling the dice and learn how to play it smart. And that's just a simple, change in his philosophy. There's nothing wrong with being a risk taker. We've talked about this on the show, but you can't leave points out there on the field in crucial situations. Go ahead, James.
It's too early for me to say that Detroit is going to win the division again. They may be a favorites right now, but we don't know what Green Bay and all these teams are going to do in the offseason.
True.
Also, I'm going to give Jacob the final word on this topic. Also, Jay, check the comment section, see what Tyler saying.
What did you say about mushrooms and acid, Dom?
Forgot already.
You're saying that the agent was on acid and mushrooms?
Someone was it wasn't. It was the previous topic, was it not?
But
I can't remember.
Either way, you were talking about the agent. I wondered, was JJ Jenkins the agent or something? The way you mentioned that. But still, the way you went up on the acid and the mushrooms, and he thinks he thinks he was a dog or something in a previous life. So,
this comes back to JJ, but like Jacob, you got any?
Yeah. I love JJ. It was a little fun, but no, Detroit. Here's what's going to happen with Detroit. They had a tough loss in the NFC title game. They're going to come in with momentum. They're going to have because of that schedule. They're going to have a bit of a couple of losses, and then the idiot fans are going to say, "Oh, we should have won it last year. We should have done it last year. I had our chance. See, we're going to blow it this year." That kind of crap. Then they're going to get hotter again, and then it's going to be 11 wins and a division title because Minnesota's going to be building. The Bears are the Bears. And Green Bay, well, we're trying to figure that out. So I think it's Detroit.
Okay.
I got 11 wins also.
So I think
anything to add? Do you have any, maybe?
Oh, no, I was giving Jacob the final word on that topic, unless anybody else wants to say something about Detroit.
I did hear a rumor that the Browns are looking to move corner Craig Newsome and that the Lions have made a phone call. Tyler!
What up? What's up,
What
guys?
is up, Tyler?
Is that Tyler Ingram?
In Cubs blue, is that a Cubs hat? Is that a Cubs shirt? What's going on?
Man?
You already know what time it is.
Tyler, you weren't allowed on
like
without
baseball
Everly.
season is almost here, man.
Cubs hat, but Slimer shirt, Goes
Yo, I'm going on the 22nd to see that film, bro. I'm in there.
Hey, Tyler, didn't you know you're not allowed on the show without Everly on your lap?
Oh, she's asleep, man. Yeah.
Yeah, she probably got bored from listening to the Lions talk. But Tyler, do you want to say anything about the Lions or the NFC North?
Yeah. So I'm not really here to shame the Lions. I think the Lions are a good football team. I think they're they're a playoff team. I don't know that they're gonna win the North next year. I've told Dom that. I think the Packers could be knocking at that door and could take that division over again. I really believe in my team, but I do think the Lions are a playoff team. I think Lions are really good. I think I don't know if Dan Campbell's gonna learn from this offseason and play a little and coach a little smarter.
I done said it. I go ahead, preach it.
Yeah,
you on your pulpit today.
Because
you on your pulpit today.
Because to be honest, that's the whole hiccup to me with them. Is he gonna be Dan Campbell and he's gonna do this all the time? He's gonna be the gutsy, gunslinger all the time, or is he gonna start making some more conservative decisions? Because
I don't think so. You're right. I don't think so.
Football.
Yeah.
It's a dilemma, but I think that's really what it is with the Lions. I don't really think it's roster building. I think their team is good enough to compete. I think they're an NFC contender. I think they're a Super Bowl contender. But is Dan Campbell going to get in their way of that? Some of those decisions, I don't know how many times he can go for two all year next year. I don't know if that's he's going to be under the microscope so much that come week one, the first time he goes for it on fourth down, he's going to be under the microscope.
Yeah, but Tyler, you got to realize something. You've heard me. You followed me on Facebook. You followed me on the other things. You've heard me. Because this is what fans do. It's like, do we need to get someone more? And then you win 5 games again. It's like there's that dilemma between that and it's the guy who got you there in the first place, the only guy that gets you there. Then now you want him to go because, well, you're an idiot. Not you, but I'm just saying the fan. Because you're an idiot, and then they'll get the replacement. And you win 5 games again.
Yeah,
it can happen.
I don't know if they get rid of him though, Jacob.
They won't.
Because it's like
fans will say.
Because it's like hold on real quick, Dom. Just one.
Go ahead. For sure.
Is the Stefanski thing with the Browns, right? He goes into the Browns, they love him, then they hate him, then they love him again. Like after this year, so it's like I could see that happening with Campbell too. You know, that roller coaster ride. And right now, I'm just wondering, do you capitalize now? Because this is the Lions' window now. This is your opportunity to win the NFC. It is open for Detroit, you know, and it's possible. But Campbell could get in the way of himself with this too. So that's really my storyline with them.
Keep in mind, so we all can agree the Lions win at least 10 games next year, right?
I do. I think they're a playoff team.
I have them at 11.
That would be the first time in franchise history that we had back-to-back 10-win seasons.
If they don't, then it would be abysmal.
Yeah, it would be a letdown. They should be a playoff team next year.
Wow, the first time in franchise history after all those years to have back-to-back 10-win years.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you that the Lions organization has been full of shit, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah.
As long as they don't wear those, as long as they don't have those possum helmets anymore, they gotta get rid of those. Man.
Yeah, those jerseys were trash.
Those
the helmets.
Yeah, the Motown possums or whatever.
Those helmets are fire. They just don't match anything.
They're terrible, dude. I hate that logo.
Stupid, that's the worst lion that I've ever seen. It's like
the rat with a mane.
It's like the old school. It's like I always tease Dom about like the Tigers' old logos because it's like the most terrifying.
Oh yeah, that tiger that looks up. The tiger that looks like it's on the aforementioned mushrooms and acid.
Yeah.
Just all bugged out like.
That lion is on some kind of drugs, whatever it is.
Math.
Possum. It's a possum.
That's what we got for you guys for the Lions preview. So definitely interesting team to watch. Next topic is Jason Kelce retiring from the NFL after a great career.
Had to sneak that Eagles topic in, didn't you?
Well, the guy's a Hall of Famer. The guy's one of the best to ever do it. This has been a topic on this show before. You know, we did ask the question, is he going to retire or come back for another year? A lot of people thought that he would, but I pretty much knew that.
I didn't. I said he was going to be a family guy.
I pretty much knew it. And he doesn't really have anything left to prove. The Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, that game really could have went either way. He could have 2 rings. He at least has 1. He has the most All-Pros by any player after turning 30 years old in NFL history with 6.
Oh wow!
The guy's been amazing. He's been the most consistent. Never gets injured. He has the longest streak in Eagles history of most games played. He's always been tough, and he's always been like a model of what Philadelphia is about. When you think about Philadelphia, you are going to think about Jason Kelce, just like you think about Brian Dawkins or Allen Iverson or any of the greats from Philly that we've seen.
Doc Rivers?
With the toughness and the grit and everything that he brings to the team. Great career, and he will be in for first ballot 100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
Real quick.
But I got no problem with him retiring.
Yeah, walk out but probably the thing, and Jacob, we talked about this actually just last night on Pundits Punted, is, you brought up, shorter careers. And even then he had 13 years, right? Mm-hmm. But, and James, you mentioned it, he was one of the healthier guys in the game. And it's about, making your money and then get out before any serious injuries kind of set in, right? Last night, Jacob, I mentioned running back Sony Michel. played 6 years. You know, he was teammates with Stetson Bennett at Georgia, and then the year that Stetson Bennett got in the NFL, he retired. But he got 2 Super Bowl rings. He made his money. He got up out of there. Now, Jason Kelce, and this man made all 6 of his All-Pros after 30, which is unheard of. Literally unheard of before he did it, right? And he became one of the most lovable guys in America literally overnight, you know. And I actually got tagged on a post. Shout out to Chris Amundsen. He's a retired SF like I am. And he actually asked, could Jason Kelce go and be a commentator? And I said, absolutely. I said, I said, to be honest with you, I could see him in the booth better than Tony Romo. Because think about it. Tony Romo's in the booth and he used to be a play caller. He can seemingly see every play coming because he's been down there, right? Now, pre-snap, who do you think that the quarterback gets all that information from? The center, the offensive line. So Jason Kelce can be the exact same. Only I think he have a little bit more of a personality, citing the podcast with him and his brother. But no, hats off to the kid, man. You know, he had an amazing career. I've got him as a first ballot. I might fly somewhere and riot if he not in first ballot myself, man. Here's a Jason Kelce.
Every 2 seconds, he's not going to be saying, I don't know, Jim, like Tony Romo does.
Jim, I don't know. Did Mahomes get in? Dom, go ahead.
Yeah, but the big thing about it is, like, you told me that it was completely an overnight thing. It was really overnight because he came from literally a skit on Bleacher Report, one of those skits they do for football. You know, I mean, I did those skits they do for football, like those minute-and-a-half skits where Jay Cutler is playing a detective. And where he's playing a detective, and he says, and they make a joke where it's the back of a cruiser, and it's like, oh, it's the other Kelce brother instead of Travis. You know, he came from that to being one of the bigger names, and that tells you something there. But a couple of things with this I figure out is this: when he could not get taped up from his main guy for the Super Bowl in his final game, he gets the guy to tape up his ankles for his retirement.
Yeah,
you know, and that was very classy, very classy. And then no one can forget where he tore his shirt off during Kansas City and having fun and being drunk. He is every man with the dad bod. Only that dad bod can kill you.
Yo, could you imagine having Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle as neighbors in college?
Yeah, right.
Like, no one would graduate because we'd be partying, right? But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Imagine that frat room, that frat.
Speaking of that, like, Barstool does an event every year, like the Drinking Olympics. They do it with all the athletes in the summer. And, like, George Kittle won the whole thing last year. That man is an absolute
shocks me none. That shocks me none.
Dude can pound beer, title, bro. I think he could do it.
Who?
I think Jason could win that title. For what we've seen him do at all these games, like, he can down some beer, bro.
James, I'm not doubting it, but I'm just saying you should watch George Kittle, like, tape on it. Like, that dude pounds beers like animal.
That's insane. Tyler, what's your take on Kelce's retirement?
Yeah, so I kind of saw it coming. I think, like, Cassie and my mom and stuff, they look at the other aspect of besides football. And, you know, he has such a great relationship with his wife and his kids. And I kind of just saw it, like, even from his podcast, you know, it seemed like he was ready, you know, to be a dad. I know it's really hard for it, you know, to leave football. And especially when you're, in my opinion, he's like a top 5 center of all time. I'm not willing to say he's number 1. I think guys like Otto and Webster have to be included as well. But I think he's the top 5 center at least. So I'll give him credit on that. And he's going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt, probably in 2029 even. But I think based off of all of that, it just seems like he's ready to be in, like, family mode now. Now he's ready to spend time with his wife and be a dad more and kind of support them. And they're all going to go out and they're going to still support Travis. I wonder, like, Jason's wife said that she would never wear Chiefs gear. So when she goes to Travis's game, she wears red, but usually she wears like a red Cincinnati Bearcats sweatshirt or something like that along those lines. But she says she won't wear Chiefs gear. I wonder now that Jason's not playing if she will wear Chiefs gear. But I think they're going to be kind of Travis's cheerleaders going forward.
Did they both go to UC?
I think Travis is still
Yes.
in the league because I think Travis is still in the league because of Taylor Swift. Because I thought they could. I would really think they could go out together.
Dom?
I think Travis still has some years though. I don't know if he's going to retire even after this season.
But he's got some
I think he
knees.
might have a couple years.
He'll be what, 36 this year? I mean,
Yeah.
his time might be coming up because we
He's
talked
that old?
about it. We talked about it getting out of the game before those injuries start to set in, man.
It depends where the Chiefs are.
And they're winning Super Bowls. Like, he's not going to retire.
I would agree.
It's good to go out it's good to go out on top. It really is.
And in one piece.
Still playing at a high level as well. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just
unless he really wants to retire, and he's in a different situation than Jason. He doesn't have like a bunch of kids and stuff. He has no kids.
Yeah, I still think he has.
And if he's smart, he won't have any with Taylor Swift. They won't last that long.
I don't know. I don't even know if she wants kids though.
That next album's almost done.
That'd be a tall ass kid.
It would. Oh, Dom, did you ever take about his retirement?
Nothing that you guys didn't already say. Like Tyler said, top 5 center of all time, and he said what I was going to say. I think he knew it was time, and he's ready to go be a dad and a husband 12 months a year instead of 8.
Agree with everything Dom just said.
When being interviewed, how did you meet Taylor? And he says, I found her wide open and gotten her tight end. James, what would you what was you about to say?
Bro, you know what's funny though? Like, when the show's over, you guys need to look up the AI, because you guys know how people make all these songs with AI and like voices and stuff. There was like somebody from Instagram or like TikTok or something that made like a Travis Kelce breakup song. You like?
You might not.
So they took that song that the random person made and they used AI to use Taylor Swift's voice. So Taylor Swift was like singing a breakup song about Travis Kelce.
Oh man,
like,
it's so wrong.
You had me on the 1 yard line and you fumbled me or something.
Yo, I gotta lick this up, man. If you find a link, send that to me, man.
The thing is, like, you can do that for a while, but like 5 to 10 years from now, she ain't gonna just be able to write breakup songs. You know what I mean? Like after a while, it's gonna run its course.
She still will. It's the same
she's
way.
made a whole career out of it.
It's the same reason why Beyonce still writes independent songs. It's the same reason why Ciara still writes her stuff, because they have an audience to pander to.
She's writing like country now. Well, not writing it. Someone's writing it for her, but yeah.
Yeah, she has an audience to pander to no matter how happily married she is. Taylor's gonna still write breakup songs because that's what got her to where she's at. Why switch up?
And
you
then
know
all
what I'm
the
saying?
Swifties are gonna go from loving Travis to saying he's the worst human being in the world.
I have a shameful admission to make. I listened to not 1, not 2, 3 Taylor Swift songs today. I think I'm a Swiftie.
Yeah, you're in.
But yeah, I mean, not quite yet, but like it just keeps popping up, and then I remember like some older songs. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was Taylor Swift.
That's crazy because Dom has been very vocal about her on social media. I've kind of left it alone personally. I don't really care one way or another.
I think people make.
I'm sure my daughter's gonna grow up and love some kind of artist like that. So
people make too much of a big deal about the whole their whole relationship and everything. It's really not that much of a big deal to me. But you have all these people saying stuff about how they're gonna boycott the NFL. Like, you're not gonna boycott the NFL.
These were the same
people.
people.
Watch the games and you're gonna stop complaining about
it. It's because of her popularity though. Like, Josh Allen's dating a pop star, but she's just not like that Steinfeld girl or whatever. She's just not super popular. But it's not like this isn't It's not like this isn't something that happens all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People be talking just to
it's
talk,
not.
man, because these were the same people that said they was going to boycott and stop watching when Colin Kaepernick did what he did. And since then, NFL
Which they
viewership went up. So they need to shut the hell up and just sit down and watch and stop talking, because they wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. And they fronting and they full of internet thugs and keyboard warriors. That's all the hell they are. Jacob,
Or
what do you call them? Emotional
thugs,
nitwits?
or keyboard thugs, internet warriors. I mean, what's
Yeah.
that?
Or emotional nitwits?
Yeah, emotional nitwits. But yeah, it's like, no, they were never going to stop watching the NFL. They were never going to. It's like, it was just the emotional nitwit part of it. It's like, let's go after Kaepernick. Because there's more than just Kaepernick in the league. And they got their way anyway. Kaepernick's out of the league.
Yeah.
They got their way out of the way. They got their way anyway.
I just don't. I'll be honest. Like, I've already talked about the Kaepernick thing for so many years now. It's just like, can we just like put it behind us? The whole idea of him wanting to be an NFL quarterback, though. Like, we know that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
He clearly, he clearly ain't gonna win a job. Like,
well, all I can say is, if you want to know what owners are super racist, go look at who's giving him a tryout. Because I'm still waiting on those other 49,995 Dan Snyder emails to finally surface.
Listen, I was completely for what he was doing, and I am not a Kaepernick hater at all. I'm just going off of talent alone. I don't know if he's talented enough to make an NFL team right now.
To make it right now. And that's just being realistic. I can respect that, you know.
Well,
when was his last NFL snap? Like 15 years ago?
No,
about 7 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Still 15.
About this all the time. It's just it's just exhausting.
His final game, he lost to Matt Barkley, and Matt Barkley's only win, and he had 1 for 5 for 4 yards.
Jesus. Matt Barkley.
All right, well, that wraps up this topic, guys, before we get too much off the rails. So, it's time for the non-sports topics / Fast Mike, the part of the show where we have a bunch of non-sports topics.
I've been waiting on this.
We discuss them.
Waiting on this.
And we pass the microphone.
Pass the Michael?
My autocorrect always says pass the Michael, but I don't know why it does that. But this week,
Michael,
and I know every person here probably does not like Dragon Ball or watched it, but I'm gonna bring.
I love Dragon Ball Z.
The author of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z has passed away, Akira Toriyama. So I have one of the books right here. I've been reading. I wanted to say, like, if you watched, what was your favorite fight that you've ever seen in the
Hercule against anyone.
Mr. Satan?
Yeah. Dude, when he gets all scared and his eyes are dots and his neck gets real skinny.
Cell killed all those people and then he took all the credit for it and they treated him like he was God.
Yep.
This is the best thing ever. And he did absolutely nothing.
I respect Dragon Ball Z. Like, I know it was super popular. I honestly will respectfully. Right. I didn't watch it, so like I just don't want to.
Respectfully, Frieza versus Goku. It took like 900 episodes to get through the whole saga, and most of the saga was them standing and staring at each other and talking to each other. And then it got to the actual fight, and then he turned Super Saiyan, which was awesome, which was one of the coolest things that anybody's ever seen in TV. So, yeah, I got to give it to that one.
Okay. I don't have one favorite fight because I need to watch it more and more often. I've seen some really, of course, Goku is there, Frieza. Years ago, when I first started noticing it, I took a liking to Trunks. I like the big sword. He kind of reminded me of the dude from Final Fantasy. But yeah, I actually became. And I actually went to the Comic-Con in 2018. That was the first one in the United States. It was in Irving, Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and which was a very fun experience and everything. I went down there with Craig and Marshall and everything. They had cosplay. They had, of course, you know, the typical what a convention would have, but it was huge. We got to see a conference. Q&A with all of the voice actors and everything, which was awesome. So I got to hear from the dude that voiced Goku, the dude that voiced Vegeta, the dude dude that voiced Frieza and on down the line. And it was really a great experience and such. And bought some souvenirs and took them back. I got an old picture of me next to a Vegeta statue. I gotta find it. But yeah, it was a really great time. I know this dude is responsible for a lot of dudes' childhoods.
Yeah,
Developing a lot of dudes' childhood through entertainment. So he's definitely GOAT status.
Before I do pass the mic, the only thing I want to point out is that there is a lot of racism that's involved in Dragon Ball. Like, you have Frieza that's calling all the fans monkeys and stuff to their face. You got like Trunks saying stuff about. You mentioned you really like Trunks, but Trunks was also racist because he told the androids that they were like the scumbags of the earth. Like, you're the scum of the earth, and like nobody could ever appreciate your kind. Like,
oh wow,
it was
he went there.
It was pretty racist, bro. Like, to be honest, like, I love Dragon Ball, but it is kind of racist.
How old are you, by the way, bud? How old are you?
I'm old enough to know about Dragon Ball.
Were you 25, 26?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying this. You said it's been around. I'll admit this. You said it's been around.
It's been around since the 90s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. This is the deal about this, and you were correct on this. The time has changed as far as the entertainment and the writing and everything like that. But a lot of people, the vast majority of people weren't exactly hating on people or thinking about it. They just weren't thinking about it in those days. A lot of them just, I mean, this is more than just the show that you're getting. We're talking about a lot of different shows. You see it on Reddit right now. Go to Reddit and they'll talk about, oh, Friends was so racist. It was all that stuff. People weren't thinking in those realms. They also weren't thinking about being hateful either. They were just going on with life. That's how they wrote.
It was mostly a joke, but I get what
I get your point. But
I'm going to pass the mic. I'm going to pass the mic to Denzel. See what he has.
All right. So I came across something earlier, and I actually posted in the group chat. And I also have the screenshot that I shared. So earlier this week, Nelly was in an interview, and he stated that that the 2000s was the hardest era of rap. Now, he himself had a #1 album. He had several #1 albums, but he said he had to go against DMX, Eminem, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, Ludacris. Everyone was fighting for one spot. And I gotta say that even though the 90s gave us Pac, Big, Nas, a little bit of Jay-Z, Lil Kim, I 1000% agree with him. The 2000s were the toughest era. It was. Everybody that he named had a #1 album, and
DMX's two #1 albums were in the 90s, not the 2000s.
His was more in the late 90s, but he was still just relevant in the 2000s. So
because you know why? He saved rap, not fucking Jay-Z. If you're watching Jay-Z, fuck you.
So I will leave the hell alone.
So I will say before
when he wants to stop looking like Peppy the Hare from Star Fox 2, then I will.
Pull the thing back up. I want to see who's on the list.
Let me see.
What's up, Cowboy?
And like I said, I agree with him because that competition was stiff. Look who all was on there. Regardless of how you may feel about him, Dom, you cannot ignore his prowess. Jay-Z deserves to be on that list.
With all due respect,
Jay-Z sold a lot of albums. Congratulations. So did Drake. Doesn't make him good.
Okay, I
like some Jay-Z songs. I just don't like him.
There, but you don't have Kanye of the 2000s. I think that's disrespectful.
That is true.
But I'm gonna be honest. That's coming from Nelly, and those two albums that Nelly had, those are some of my favorite albums of all time. Like the Country Grammar, when it first came out, was like a huge thing.
It won album of the year
in my grade. I still bump that.
Yeah.
I fucks with Nelly.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Let me say this. Now, I'm not going to be the hip-hop aficionado, but let me say this part. What they were saying about that this was the hardest in rap, maybe you're comparing to the 90s because you go any farther on any subject. There is no hard anymore. Lawyers killed hard. Well, it killed hard in comedy. They killed hard in television. They killed hard with athletes. They killed hard with everybody. Everybody's afraid to be offended. The minute we get people in anything that are just not afraid of offense again,
No, he meant hard like difficult, like not like I'm a hard motherfucker.
No, I'm talking about hard as in tough.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's about like today's world with cancel culture and stuff. Not this
That's
era.
true.
This was like 20 years ago that we're talking.
No, I know. I'm saying that
When I
it's
was
hard to
young and growing up.
No, it just in comparison, he's correct on the thing. But we're talking about any subject. I'm not going to talk rap, but I'm just talking about any subject. You could go there. He could be correct on it because this era of anything isn't hard, as in tough, as in anything. It's not. Everything is so offensive. Sure. Everything has a lawyer watching you. Everything has the internet saying how offended they are. And when that gets ignored, then we'll start seeing hard again.
Yeah.
All right, Denzel. What else you got for the topic?
I was going to pass the mic.
Has everyone said what they want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, about this topic, but I want to chime in about one thing. I don't know if you guys touched about it earlier, but I'll wait.
Go ahead, Ty.
No, go ahead.
So
Tyler.
Unrelated to music, I just want to say, I don't know if you guys talked about this earlier because I hopped on the show, but I was truly saddened by the passing of Chris Mortensen. I thought Chris Mortensen was an exceptional journalist. He was one of the very few people on ESPN who I really enjoyed. So him passing away, honestly kind of made me a little like I was legit sad because I was like, damn, I love Mort. So I just wanted to chime about that because I know we talk about football here, but I think they really lost like a legend.
He's amazing.
The NFL world.
One of the best in the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess I'll pass the mic to Tyler. What do you got?
Ooh. Yeah, so I guess we'll do unrelated to football, but we'll still do sports here. And I'm going to go NBA title contenders based off of last night because everyone's been saying the Celtics, the Nuggets had their number last night. So NBA title contenders right now. I actually think that the Denver Nuggets might just repeat this year. Go.
I don't even know, man. I haven't been watching the NBA.
Me neither.
The only one.
I am going to watch.
I just really hope it's not the Celtics. Anybody but
I think it's Denver. I think Jokic is going to get another, to be honest.
That's not out of the room, I thought. If not,
does anyone in the East look like a serious contender other than Boston?
Yeah.
You know who's not a serious contender?
Is it
The Sixers season was actually pretty good until Joel got hurt, and then we suck again. So.
No, I don't know. New York. When New York gets hot, New York can be a title contender. New York's a good team.
I'm rooting for New York. They took all my team's good players.
I mean, it damn sure ain't my Bulls or Jacob's Bulls.
If the Knicks did beat the Celtics in the playoffs, it would be the best thing ever, though.
No.
The NBA is better when the Knicks are good. How long have I been saying this?
I agree. I agree.
I'll tell you this. It's like if you ask John Shearer, it's always Miami. They're always a contender. Always.
I mean, you can't count out playoff Jimmy Buckets. And I was just going to say, what about...
If they play Boston, yeah. I mean, Miami seems to have Boston's number.
I think Pat Riley's the coolest old guy in the history of the league. I'm just saying this. He is just.
I really like Eric
great
Spoelstra.
when Miami gets.
I'll say that.
Huh?
I'll say that I really respect and like Eric Spoelstra. I like his full
Me too.
story. I like coming up as a videographer. Yeah. I think he's a legend. I love how he became a head coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And, especially starting from the bottom. But it's like Miami has everything. Everything as far as the cool. I mean, I joke about Shearer, but I've always said the Dolphins can get as far as the cool level. He's really the cool level because of Riley.
The only thing that John wouldn't know about Miami is that Miami is probably like the most overrated city in the state of Florida, and I'm not even kidding.
I do. I lived there for a couple weeks.
It's a very.
I wouldn't move back.
Nothing to do there except go to the beach and the strip club
and nightclub.
That's
nightclubs.
Isn't that kind of one or the other? Especially if it's a strip club, it's like if it's a beach, it's one piece on, and it's a one-piece offense.
That's why I'm kind of surprised that James Harden didn't want to go there, but I guess LA's not bad either.
No. Miami wanted to win a title, so no James Harden.
I just think, like, if you go to Tampa compared to go to Miami,
ding, ding, ding.
More fun in Tampa. You're gonna have way more fun in Tampa.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Tampa more than I enjoyed Miami.
No, but
absolutely, it's not even close.
But I can say this about the Heat. That old man, Pat Riley, I saw that one with Levitard about 4 years ago, that interview. Goes around with those classic cars, that condo he's in. He is just cool.
Man, I forgot all about Dan Levitard. I like him, too. I like his dad.
Yeah.
I miss his show.
Pat Riley is
Poppy?
cool.
I don't care. Like, I don't care about how cool he is. Like, he's literally one of the best coaches in the NBA. The results of everything that he's done backs up. So
he's going for 10 rings.
Whose hair has moved more recently, Pat Riley's or Jimmy Johnson's? It's a trick question. Neither one has since the 70s.
When the Cowboys were getting destroyed by the Packers in the playoff game, and then, like, he gave that stupid little corny speech, like, you guys need to get it together, like, on national TV.
He sounded so old.
That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen.
That was pretty bad.
He sounded so old, and the thing is, you guys need to get it together. He's doing it on TV. He couldn't.
He sounds like a fan yelling at his TV. He doesn't sound like a professional.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
you should watch Chris Spielman do color for Lions preseason games. It sounds like he's going to have a stroke in the first quarter.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is, no, he sounded like an old man on TV who couldn't cuss.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You better get
Jimmy used to like cry a lot and stuff when he was coaching. He was a very emotional guy.
Hey, Tyler, you mentioned Miami being an overrated city. We had a conversation about food before. Which city has the better Cuban sandwiches, Tampa or Miami?
Yo, I was just talking about this the other day because I got a Cuban at the place up the street from me, and it was not good.
I was gonna be honest. Like where I live in Southwest Florida, like we have really good Cuban sandwiches. You just have to go to the right spots. We have some fine Cuban sandwiches down here.
That's cool.
I love
that. Is 100% true.
That's like a top like 3 sandwich of all time in general.
Lesson learned: don't order a Cuban sandwich anywhere in Michigan.
Yeah, that's it.
Like when it showed up, I had already forgot what I ordered. And I looked at it and I'm like, "What is that?" She's like, "You ordered a Cuban." I'm like, "Oh, you're calling it that?"
I will say, like with Miami, you can get a Cuban sandwich. You also could get coffee that'll keep you up for 72 hours if you just take a shot of it. You know, I mean,
well, it is Miami. I mean, I would think they got a special ingredient to keep you up for 72 hours.
Well, I was gonna say there's some other things that you can find in Miami that will keep you up for 72 hours.
There's white girl amongst all.
Allegedly.
Sprinkle a little bit of that booger sugar in there. It keep you up for about a week. Yeah, you're right.
That Michael Irvin powder, yeah.
Oh, Trick Daddy.
You brought up Miami being.
That's the voice of personal experience.
Yeah. You brought up Miami being overrated. You want to know what made Miami in the first place? I'm just saying this was Miami Vice early in our lives in our time.
You were gonna say the Will Smith song.
No, definitely not.
Wow.
Definitely not.
You have not lived till you have driven down Collins bumping that song.
But no, I'm saying though, it's like Miami Vice made the dang city and still making its way.
It's just,
enough, bro.
Dude. Like literally, if you go there now, like you're gonna be stuck in traffic for half your day for one.
But that's in Atlanta.
It's so hard.
In Atlanta, I already am anyway.
Oh, Atlanta is atrocious for traffic.
Atlanta's tough, yeah.
I'm not going to Atlanta.
But there's a lot to do. But I've been to Atlanta. There's a lot.
Atlanta's dope though. Dad, if you're watching, please move back to Atlanta.
Atlanta's a cool city, though.
Who are you asking to move back to Atlanta?
My dad.
Oh yeah, no, Atlanta's awesome. I lived here 19 years.
He used to live in Alpharetta.
I like Atlanta.
Yeah, I live Alpharetta.
It's a lot cooler than rural Toledo.
Yeah.
Cassie's stepdad's family all lives in Augusta.
Augusta, Georgia? Yeah.
3 hours.
Tyler, who are you gonna pass the mic to?
Let's do Jacob.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I took half of my thing. I was gonna bring this up, I was gonna bring this up there, but I took half of it off of the hip hop one, about the being hard. But I'm doing it. But the reason it came that way is because what happened is I'm doing a column. I'm doing a column for two of our. Sorry about that. I'm doing a column for this, and it's basically the idea of looking back from some of the other days. Like I'm using examples, and then the idea of it is. Like, I'm using examples of these, no matter what, they talk trash to each other, they're still friends, whoever I'm using as examples. And it's like, but the world of Reddit and the world of Reddit and the world of the internet, everybody's looking to be offended. They tried being offended at that guy from, what was his name, Shane, I forget his last name, that was on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, they tried getting him kicked off. They're trying to say how offensive it was that Sydney Sweetie has really big tig bitties, if you will. They're trying to be offended that she showed those. It's like it has got to be to a point. I'm just wanting to get everybody's opinion on this part, but this is my thoughts process. It's got to get to a point where we stop getting offended at everything and ignore the ones that are, so we get some comedy, so we get some entertainment again.
People.
It's only going to get
People
worse.
should get offended at me. I'm on the East Coast, and I still think Tupac's better than Biggie. But
But I'm saying
Let me let you in on a little secret. They're both overrated. Love them both. Both overrated.
It can get worse. You're correct on that. But the thing is, when can we finally get people to ignore it and start putting some entertainment on? That's not saying be truly mean. That's not saying be truly mean or nasty, but people are getting offended at the most basic stuff. When do we do this and start getting some comedy?
I mean, we go to schools now and people want like litter boxes inside the bathrooms. I mean, we live in a weird world, man. It's a very strange world we live in.
I know.
Litter boxes, is that for people who identify as cats?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a thing.
It's exactly for people who ID as cats.
Yes. People are stupid.
All right.
And
but people can't lick their own assholes. So how are they cats?
but we're appeasing this though. We appease this instead of calling them what they are. Weird and stupid. But then they say you're offended, and I'm asking that question to everyone. It's like, can we get to a point where we can be normal again?
I just laugh at them in my home,
The what?
That's why like now, instead of being vocal about certain things, I'm like, wow, what a fucking loser,
Yeah, but
I just laugh about that in my home.
Correct, Tyler.
Like I'll go and see someone, and then like later, like I'll come home and I'll be like, Cassie, I'll be like, what a fucking dweeb.
Yeah, you're correct, Tyler. But the problem is, it's come into our government, it's come into a lot of stuff, it's come into schools, and it's like people listen to this crap.
Yep, they do. All right.
I agree with
you.
you.
The last one.
I was going to ask you. I was going to say to you. I wanted to just ask you two real quickly what you guys thought before we pass it.
Ask who what?
Jay, I was going to ask you what you thought. Just getting your opinion on that.
At some point, I'm not going to point fingers at any particular, but at some point, I'm really starting to question really the validity and the context and the reason why they are like this. Do you really genuinely want change, or are you just asking for attention? Because let's face it, attention is the biggest addiction nowadays, especially when it comes to social media, especially when it comes to shows that people do or whatever. Do you really want change, or is this really wham, look at me, I need a bottle, I need my diaper changed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go on a limb and say it's along the lines of my theory, because I've seen a lot of them be hypocrites. I've seen a lot of them have kind of a, no, you can't say or do that, but I can do and say what I want to do type of deal.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it is. So I think it actually could benefit, bringing, some of the old era back, because that's how, you can't, I'm sorry, you can't just project yourself or portray yourself as being solid and 100, and yet you cry and complain about I'm not sitting here saying that, go out there and praise a Klan member or anything like that. We all know there's a moral line you don't cross.
Yeah.
But put it to you like this, Jacob, if Andrew Dice Clay from the 1980s
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
were to do stand-up right now, how fast would he get canceled? And you've heard this material.
Oh my God!
He still does.
In 1 second, and he needs to be there more than ever now.
I mean, George Carlin would have been canceled in this culture
Yeah,
too.
easily.
A lot of the
He's
cats
in
we
front of it.
came up on would have been canceled. You know what I mean?
Every black comedian ever since Red Fox would have been canceled. Who, by the way, every black comedian after Red Fox.
Over. We're going on about 11 minutes over. So Dom, would you like to do any?
Yeah, real quick, and it's interactive, and I'll go last. Who's your favorite rapper from your city? Jay, go first.
Zero.
James?
Cassidy.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Jacob's going Marky Mark.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. No, there are no rappers from Quincy, Illinois, so I pass.
I'm going Twista.
Oh, good looks, Twista.
That's who I had. Twista is who I had for me as well. I gotta go. It's probably Isham.
Okay.
All right. I think that's
There's a rapper from Quincy, Illinois. There's got to be.
No, 40,000 people.
Nobody ever made it out of the Quincy, man.
Yeah, I made it out. My brother and I made it out.
Jacob is the most famous dude. Just by being with Sideline Sports, Jacob is the most famous dude that made it out of Quincy, Illinois. Yeah. I've seen pictures of that city. That got a rickety-ass old bridge and a newer one that was built like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. That's their new bridge. When I say it ain't, hey, when I say it ain't,
Quincy's in Chicago, like
when I say it ain't shit in Quincy, Illinois, it ain't shit in Quincy, Illinois.
No, 1986 the bridge was built, and I know that because my dad was part of the people on the thing done that bridge building it. So I know. I know when it was. But still, it's like, yeah, there's not a lot, no.
We're going to go ahead and close the show out tonight. It was another great episode. It was fun. It was interesting. I'm glad that we had Tyler as a surprise guest. And Jacob, always glad to have you on the show as well. Looking forward to seeing you guys again sometime soon, man. So
yep.
No
question. Good to see you, Tyler.
And
good seeing you guys. Always.
We will see you guys here back next week for another episode.
And same Gauntlet time, same Gauntlet channel.
And same Tyler time, same Cassie channel.
Same JJ.
The New Amsterdam speaks for him now.